Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Edward and Liuhua, this game taking place here on Concealed Hill. We have, well, Edward spawning as the blue night elf on the bottom left-hand side of the map, opening things up with an altar of elders. Well, why did it zoom in? Moonwell and all that. Meanwhile, on the top right here, we have, well, Liuhua spawning as the yellow undead. Just because their names are not showing up properly, and I'm not too familiar with the players' names, I'm probably going to just try to refer to them as Undead and Night Elf throughout the rest of the match. My apologies. Difficult to come up with the names right as you're during excited, heated moments, so I believe, you'll be able to follow the action alongside with me. Now, Crypt, Altar of Darkness, Ziggurat coming across here, waiting for the hero altars to be done, and then from there I can start making prediction on strategies. It is going to be a Demon Hunter going up against a Death Knight, so nothing too crazy coming in from either side. There's that Tomb of Relics for that Rod of Necromancy, and both sides look like they're going to be at least creeping out one starting creep camp, and then, well, things can change from there. Acolyte getting ensnared on the back end here. Ancient of War tanking a bit of damage as the Demon Hunter should be popping on out right here. Who's going to get that last bit of experience? The Demon Hunter. Well, there goes the Acolyte, and the Acolyte retreats back. Demon Hunter picks up Gloves of Haste, and, well, a bit of chasing going around here. So the Demon Hunter are going to try and chase. Ancient of War not going to be able to get nearly as much damage, and that Archer is going to end up taking a bit more damage as the Ancient of War is slowly making its way over there. Demon Hunter catching up to the Acolyte here, may be able to get off a slice or two, and it looks like he will be able to do that. But the Demon Hunter is more actually getting stuck behind his opponent rather than anything else. All right, some easy bits of damage and kill there. Death Knight wants to pick up the item. I believe he does get the experience there and the item, as well as the Forest Troll Trapper getting surrounded. Double mana burns onto the Death Knight. Death Knight now down 100 as the Demon Hunter gets to level 2 and is, well, doing a bit more mana burn, a play against that Death Knight. Now, we do see... What? Alright, so he accidentally unsummoned his Ziggurat, and it now needs to resummon a Ziggurat here. That is a strange move, to say the least. I gotta believe that is a misclick there, as the Demon Hunter and Death Knight still going back at it. Now, this is going to have ramifications for the Undead. Obviously, he is currently, well, he needs to hold on to all of his workers right now, as he will not be able to train up any additional Acolytes. Undead already has one extra. On top of that, it will obviously delay his tech to tier 2, as the Necropolis, well, is a rather mainstay of a building. And because of that, it takes quite a bit of time to build. Demon Hunter down to now 105 hit points. Well, Archer is actually getting pathing and blocking in the way, as the Demon Hunter going to be able to retreat all the way back home, get some Moonwells. But, well, I've said this before for Night Elf players, a lot of professional Night Elf players get additional Moonwells out on the battlefield up to 40 supply early so that they can in fact heal. You want these Moonwells actually full here, as Undead now pushing out across the battlefield now. Now, you can see both Moonwells are fairly low. Demon Hunter has a good amount of mana missing and a decent amount of hit points. That is a downside for him, because when he drinks from those Moonwells, he's going to be replacing both hit points and mana when he really only wants mana, since the Death Knight really not going to be able to get off any death coils. Is the Demon Hunter going to be able to catch up to that ghoul? Archers were able to do exactly that. Demon Hunter trying to exchange blows back and forth once again, as the Ancient of War now making its way over. Demon Hunter currently low on hit points. There's once more drinking from the Moonwells. Archers are trying to engage in the battle here, but this, well, army, this rather small army of Undead, really able to put in a good amount of pressure, and now cleaning up a handful of all of these ghouls. The Necropolis finally teching the tier 2, but all of these ghouls have to actually walk a significant distance in order to do a bit of mining. Staff of Teleportation inbind. There's a detonation there. All right, Demon Hunter once more getting healed back up and now getting body blocked by the Ancient of War, as the Demon Hunter does a little bit of a chase again. Now, Fountain of Health. Archers all able to shadow meld at the Fountain of Health, regenerate some hit points, while the ghouls themselves are being forced to retreat back. Death Knight Perhaps going to try and hang out at a Fountain of Health, or perhaps get that Sacrificial Dagger and heal up off of a Skeletal Minion. Death Knight, however, well, out of Skeletal Minion charges, needs to come up with some other strategies here as the Graveyard now getting summoned. All right, Naga Sea Witch, the tier 2 already completed, already at Naga Sea Witch. We do have a Hunter's Hall. We should be looking at Ancients of Lore soon. Meanwhile, the archers fairly healed back up as the Demon Hunter Naga Sea Witch now making their way out across the map. No Boots of Speed on that Naga Sea Witch, so not going to be able to easily pick off trailing ghouls. Death Knight now once more going after a relatively difficult creep camp for a low hit point Death Knight. Sacrificial Dagger is ready to use Rod of Necromancy charges, probably going to be used as well as now the archers, Demon Hunter, Naga Sea Witch inside the main, inside the main base, but very good Sim City, making it difficult to get in anywhere. All right, one Acolyte does get taken out now. A couple other Acolytes could perhaps be destroyed, but because of this wall off, well, all of those far back Acolytes are fairly well protected. Now, minimal damage lost there as that tech to tier 2 nearly completed. And now what is happening? Ziggurat Haunted Goldmine being placed down at the, 11 o'clock position. Demon Hunter in that frontline spot. You're going to just pick up a Boots of Speed, try to clear out a relatively difficult creep camp, but the Death Knight is now nearby. There's a gift, there was a gift-wrapped archer as a mana burn goes down onto that Death Knight. Death Knight does have enough for a Death Coil, but currently just getting slowed up quite a bit as the ghouls are trying to swarm. There's another mana burn, and now we see a low hit point ghoul, perhaps about to get taken down. One more final shot. There it goes. Naga Sea Witch gets, into a little bit of trouble. Are we going to see a Scroll of Town Portal? No, we are not. There's a mana burn finishing off the Death Knight as the Naga Sea Witch down to 149 hit points. Going to be forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal to get away. Is the Demon Hunter going to be able to finish off one more shot? Yes, does get it off before the Scroll of Town Portal. So, some strong, lucky play, some timing there. Demon Hunter able to finish off a couple of ghouls, but perhaps more importantly, that Death Knight, as that Death Knight now needing to be resurrected back at home. All right. Not the crispest, cleanest of plays, but then again, and not everyone can play at the level of Happy and Lalai. Watching some other players as well, realizing that, you know what, I may not be, you don't always have to play at the very, very highest levels to enjoy the game. Yes, we all enjoy winning, but and we should always compete, but that's one thing I say, try not to wrap up your self-worth, which often happens in video games. A lesson that I needed to learn anyways. I'm getting so introspective and reflective as of late. Not quite sure why. All right, Demon Hunter gonna go ahead and try and fall all the way back here. Ogre Lord. Oh, Naga Sea Witch didn't get into the right position to actually trap. All right, the Ogre Lord now gonna retreat all the way back, and that was a bit of a misstep right there. Meanwhile, just a hop, skip, and a jump away, we can see that the Death Knight and the Naga Sea Witch are very much close by. The Naga Sea Witch, all it needed to do was close off that entrance as the Gargoyle is up there. Demon Hunter picks up Unholy Aura. Is he going to end up getting a Death Coil? He does, down to 46 hit points now. He needs to back away, perhaps try and use a Staff of Teleportation, and now turnabout is fair play, it appears, as the Death Knight looking to finish off and does in fact get the Naga Sea Witch. All right, so Death Knight, Naga Sea Witch finishing off units there, trying to finish off more Dryads. Demon Hunter now back at home, most likely Staff of Teleportation inbound, but you can see these Moonwells are pretty much bone dry. Demon Hunter does get the benefit of a rejuvenation off of a bear. So with that, he looks like he'll be able to perhaps try and do a little bit of chasing. Druid of the Claw is in does have mastery. Naga Sea Witch activates the creeps in order to make it a little bit more difficult to try and chase. There's Abolish Magic closing out those skeletal minions in the back. Those skeletal minions were actually acting as a little bit of a body block. Demon Hunter going after the Naga Sea Witch. Slow poison coupled with venom poison, it does inflict quite a bit of damage over time. Death Knight now trying to retreat back on Blight will have good heals. Meanwhile, Gargoyles of the Night Elf now causing problems inside the main base here. We are at Tree of Eternity, getting up dual Ancients of Lore. Undead does have this additional base off to the north, so he's going to start to build a larger and larger army. What are Night Elf's chances of closing things out? Yes, the Death Knight was taken out earlier, but it doesn't really feel Night Elf has a long-term plan yet. The superior economy just may become too much as the Death Knight escapes away at level 220 some odd hit points. Are we going to see more damage here? Naga Sea Witch could be in some major trouble. Who's going to end up falling? There's a Fork Lightning. Demon Hunter falls. Death Knight falls. And now it is Dryads versus pretty much Gargoyles, and that is it. The Dryads, however, not superior in number, and the Gargoyles able to deal big damage onto those units. The Naga Sea Witch perhaps getting a Fork Lightning onto those units up in the air could cause problems, but no, they're able to back off and retreat. Demon Hunter resurrected at the tavern, but that is an expensive proposition. 400 gold, trying to train up more Druids of the Claw and Dryads. Meanwhile, off to the north here, Spirit Tower, Nerubian Tower easily defending Halls of the Dead, and now going into, Black Citadel. Slaughterhouse is a bit delayed, so we should be getting Obsidian statues, but still feels a little bit of a step behind. And I guess this is one of those stories about never give up, no matter how far you are behind, no matter the mistakes you made, such as unsummoning your halls of, or your necropolis, you can still get back into this game, and that's exactly what the Undead has done. Even after losing his hero, his Undead primary hero twice. All right, Demon Hunter gonna get another rejuvenation. Armies ready to move out here. Level 4, level 3 going up against dual level 3 heroes. Gargoyles can easily finish off the Drake there. And now, are we going to see a big fight? There's a Tome of Strength. Death Knight, here we are, here we go. Units trying to retreat back. There's a Naga Sea Witch, actually getting focused down quite a bit. Naga Sea Witch gets Fork Lightning down. And was that a gift wrapped there? All right, Demon Hunter trying to retreat, or trying to chase back after all of these units. Gargoyles are nearby. They are going to be able to heal up. Death Knight now being forced to retreat back. You see Orb of Venom, Cold Arrows, Slow Poison, all getting applied to those Gargoyles, and one round of attacks really taking out a big chunk of hit points. Now, these Gargoyles are so fast moving. Are they going to perhaps be going after some of those wisps, as we can see that the Demon Hunter with that Orb of Venom is in fact able to attack air. All right, one quick volley, trying to go after the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter actually gets an easy Gargoyle kill there, as the one wisp easily cleaned up once more. 163 lumber, a little bit lumber strapped here as the Naga Sea Witch still wandering about. All right, are we going to see a two-pronged attack? All right, some easy pressure back in the main base. Death Knight and the Demon Hunter going back at it. Meanwhile, Naga Sea Witch clearing up this Goblin Laboratory creep camp as we're waiting for the Naga Sea Witch to get resurrected. Undead sitting on such a large amount of gold and hasn't really bursted into low upkeep yet. Perhaps he's waiting to get a little bit more lumber, perhaps try and train up units. But that is the strange part here. We do see dual crypts. We don't see any Crypt Fiends though. So with what is out here on the battlefield, the Gargoyles are effective, but they just kind of trade 1 for 1. Meanwhile, the Altar of Darkness about to get destroyed here. Are we going to see a repair? Acolytes are trying to repair this Spirit Tower, and the Altar of Darkness was a split second away from training back up that Naga Sea Witch. So all of that loss of time, actually a very big deal, as we're now looking at 4 towers in the main base putting pressure. Undead may actually end up losing this game here if he's not careful. And yes, no, wait, no. I am confused. 31 okay, Demon Hunter still out on the battlefield. Night Elf still out on the battlefield. Naga Sea Witch is gone. There's 2,400 gold in the bank here compared to 800, so perhaps the pressure was starting to mount a bit too much. Gargoyles are 1-1 upgraded. Still felt a little bit premature. Let me know what you guys thought. Whether or not I do believe Undead had the advantage, but it wasn't a clear-cut victory by any stretch of the imagination. All right, Undead. All right, like main base was also all those acolytes were destroyed, so it is actually just one base versus one base right now. So Night Elf doing a fair bit of damage, but still still decided to throw in the towel. When everything goes wrong and right, I guess.